Hey, I wanted to do a quick intro for these What is your superpower / spiritual gifts readings. It's going to be like a minute and a half, I promise. But I made up this reading back in April. I did it as a pick a card reading, but it was put on my spirit to do it for each individual sign. And I feel like it's to help someone pretty much remember who they are. Yes, like the Lion King. And as I said that, Find Your Way Back by Beyonce from her Lion King album started playing in my head. So I encourage everyone to go listen to that song. I definitely encourage everyone to listen to the readings all the way until the end, because the oracle cards that I pulled at the end match the tarot card messages perfectly. Well, at least for the couple of signs that I've done so far. So I feel like it's definitely for someone. It can't be for everyone of the same sign. That would be impossible. But you've probably had people try to convince you that your superpower or your gift is worthless. But deep down inside, you were put here to be of service, but you were not put here to be subservient. You couldn't be a follower if you tried. So if this is for you, I just want you to remember how special, powerful, and unique the Creator made you. So I think I'm done. Here's your reading. What's up, Aquarius? Welcome to your What is your superpower and or spiritual gift reading. I'm going to start with the major arcana, and I'm going to clarify it with minor arcanas too. Okay, they should pause because the battery is low, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to pull a major arcana and then some minor arcana to get a good idea, a good feel for what your superpower is, and then go into some other things. So can you let us know what Aquarius superpower is, Spirit? Thank you. The High Priestess. A couple of people got this. There's a whole lot of people whose intuition is on point, like who have the gift of insight, divine insight, or like being connected to the ethers, getting a lot of messages from a higher power. The High Priestess. What flipped over was the Ace of Wands, Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands, Six of Cups. So I feel like you get a lot of divine communication as it relates to new beginnings, fresh starts, possibly. And with the Seven of Swords, it's about being able to see past lies and illusion. Maybe you can naturally feel when somebody is lying to you, or you can actually feel the direction to go in that would actually be prosperous. Like, you can intuitively feel the action you can take that would be most progressive. Like, when a lot of people would have to do trial and error a lot. Not saying that you don't have to do trial and error, but I'm just saying most of the time, if this is for you, you get it right as far as what action would be the best one to take when it comes to things that you want to make grow. Hopefully that makes sense. The Nine of Wands. You could be the type of person, this came out in your soul ties reading, that you know how to help people out of tough spots. Like when people feel like they don't know what else they can do, they could feel stuck in situations, they could feel beaten down, broken. This is about someone the Nine of Wands is about someone who is wounded, depleted as far as their energy. You can get a lot of like divine insight about how to help people out of tough spots, pretty much. I feel like you can know a lot about how people's past affect their present. With Six of Cups, that could represent childhood or memories, pleasant memories or not so pleasant memories. But it's about those things affecting a person now. So I feel like you can intuitively see a lot of patterns in people, or intuitively point out the things that may have happened to a person that is affecting it, the way that they are now, or the pain that they are going through now, and the action that they can take to get out of it. If that makes sense. But in a nutshell, I feel like your superpower is your intuition. Being able to feel things that most people can't feel, and know things that most people won't know. And if they do end up knowing it, it will be like way after you already said it, or way after you known it, because you're getting your information from a higher source, whether you know it or not. You might just feel like, oh, I know everything, but don't even know like you're being told everything, or you're being guided by a higher power to know these things, but it's for a higher purpose. It's not for you to tell people I know everything. Maybe it's for you to, come up with a way to assist people on a bigger level, because you were given the gift of insight and intuition. Okay, so what is Aquarius's blockage currently for developing their superpower to its highest potential? Okay. So dedication. You could not believe in you could not be a very spiritual person, or you could, I don't want to say that, because I feel like if you're here, you're probably spiritual. So I feel like it's commitment or dedication to whatever it is your craft is, or whatever it is you believe in spiritually. You might not be as committed as you should be, or you could be, because this is coming up as your blockage. See how dedicated she is? Like, she's not caring about what's going on around her. She's not caring about the status quo. She's not caring about what everybody else is doing. It's like, I think I already said that. But she's completely trusting her own process. She's trusting in whatever she's calling on. And this would be the high priest. It would be counterparts with the high priestess, which came out already. So it's about grounding whatever it is that you know. Practicing what you preach, pretty much. If this is for you, Aquarius, your blockage would be practicing what you preach and sticking to it. Okay? I'm pulling some more to clarify. I just got really quiet because I don't want to sound like I'm being like, I don't know. But I can't say anything other than the message that I get. So I feel like and then Two of Pentacles came out at the bottom. So being more compassionate. This is all clarifying your blockage. I feel like practicing what you preach today and so on. Also, a blockage is being more compassionate, trying to understand other people's emotions, being more empathetic is a blockage. So you're not as empathetic as you could be. And this is about finding balance. With it being in between this, or the card that was at the bottom, and I put it in between, it's like finding a balance between, being practical and being like, being practical and being compassionate, being practical and being loving. Is a blockage. So it would be 2 blockages for whoever this is for. See, the 4 of Pentacles at the bottom is like being closed off. So you might be rigid, like emotionally. Okay, so I'm going to pull an oracle card for y'all, but then I'm going to go into, after I read from this oracle, all right, y'all, I'm going to pull from this oracle deck for Aquarius. Then I'm going to go into, I'm going to take this card because it just flipped the fuck out. It just tumbled out. So, and I'm going to take this one at the bottom because they look very much similar. They look like, I don't know. I just feel like I should take both of them. But after I read these 2 oracle cards, I'm going to go into advice for how to best develop the superpower to its highest potential. And then I'm going to go into how it would affect people, like the effect it would have on you and other people if you were to develop it to its highest potential. So I'm going to read from this oracle for y'all. First, I'm going to read Big Bold Vision, which I think Cancer got this card too. Okay. It says, big bold vision. You were not born to play small in life. You have the ability to dream big. Even if you have absolutely no idea about how your visions can come to pass or what all the details may look like, you can assess the heart and gut of a vision by tapping into your wildest dreams and surrendering attachment to exactly how it will work out. The details are up to the creative genius of the universe. You are an active contributing participant, but not the sole player in your life's journey. There is something, a vision or an idea that is coming to you. You may worry that it's too much for you, but don't worry. It is meant to be yours. Although you might have some adjustments to make and some tweaking to do as you let go of your limited thinking and open up to a fearless acceptance of the bigger, brighter. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt myself and talk about, when they're talking about opening up to something bigger, this person is really like the embodiment of like as above, so below. And I said like pulling down things from the ethers and like manifesting it into real life. So I feel like it relates so far, but I'm going to keep reading. You may worry that it's too much for you, but don't worry, it is meant to be yours. Although you might have some adjustments to make and some tweaking to do as you let go of your limited thinking and open up to a fearless acceptance of a bigger, brighter, more radical, and more potent possibility of creatively living your light in the world. A sign that you are cracking out of your limited thinking to allow a big, bold vision to come to you is that you might feel a little dizzy with the shrinking limitations and expanding possibilities of life. You may wonder if you are allowed. It paused again, y'all, because it's about to die. You may wonder if you are allowed to assess so much wonder. Remember that it is your healing and your growing success as you manifest this big vision. You can touch the hearts of others through your presence, your inner work, your art, and your choices. It is a win-win situation. Those that are meant to live big, bold, and visionary lives need to give themselves permission to break the mold and forge newer, more expansive perceptions of what is possible what is permitted, and what is of service. It's about letting go and opening up. Others will benefit from this, even though it is your vision. It is not just about you. So then in the beginning. But okay. You are being asked to remember that when something is right for you, endless synchronicities and support will flow your way at the right time and in the right way. Stay open, receptive, playful, and surrendered. She's completely surrendered in this card. But the oracle brings you a message that you are to receive or be invited to become a part of a grander vision. It has the makings of something fantastic, no matter how the journey that brings the vision into reality unfolds. And there will be some twists and turns that you don't see coming. It is still helpful for you to be open to it. Trust your heart, be still with your choices, and when the time feels right, truthfully leap. This oracle brings a message for those of you that would like to further develop your intuitive sights. It is already happening. Trust in what you perceive, even if it conflicts with what everyone else around you is saying or the surface of things. Trust your inner perspectives. Wow. They are accurate, and they will be proven to be so later on. The healing process will help you with this. This oracle brings a general message of positive energy. Trust that things will come up roses for you, even if everything seems to be a bit in shambles now. It's really just an essential mess before the truly spectacular success. Healing process says, I release all blocks to my vision. I release all beliefs, conscious or unconscious, stored in my body or mind that will have me belittle or minimize myself out of fear or ignorance. I choose to be big, bold, and bright, to vision with my heart and receive all the genius of the universe in supporting that vision and coming to life. So be it. Okay. I'm going to read this one, which is number 20. I'm trying not to rush, even though I'm trying to rush because I don't want the thing to die. And I can't plug it. I can't charge it because the mic is in there. So whatever. Hopefully it doesn't die. It says, softly, softly, the tender touch. The feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things, but don't necessarily have the proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of feminine wisdom. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force you use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it internally and in our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. There is an old story that the sun and the wind were debating about who was more powerful. After boasting about their prowess, they made a wager. A man walked down the street with a coat on. The wind and the sun decided that whomever could force the coat off the man was the most powerful. The wind began demonstrating its impressive power. It blew and caught underneath the coat, pulling it and nearly ripping it right off the man. But the man wrapped his coat around himself more tightly to protect himself against the force of the wind. Eventually, perhaps temporarily out of puff, the wind gave up. The sun took over. He shone down, became brighter and brighter until the man slipped off his coat, slung it over his shoulder, and walked down the street, quite possibly wondering what was happening with the weather that day. That's crazy. That just happened with the weather today. One minute it was windy as fuck and cold, and the next minute it was hot. But I'm gonna keep reading. The wind attempted to do by force what the sun was able to do just by being. You are being asked to surrender your forcefulness, your determination, and your intense activity, even if it is just for the moment. Does this mean that you had to surrender the goals you were chasing through those endeavors? Certainly not. This is not about letting go of your achievement. It is about understanding the process of manifestation in a more intelligent way. There is a way of creating that gives you energy and doesn't leave you utterly worn out. It is about allowing what you want to come to you. Be yourself absolutely, naturally, and with ease. Wish to receive. It is about cultivating an energetic infinity, an energetic affinity with which you seek, rather than feeling lack and need. Do you see the subtle but important difference? I do. Do you see it? To feel that you are already a naturally abundant being who gratefully invites more of what you want into your life is rather different than feeling lack, fear, wishing your world would change. It is a bit like dressing for a job you want, even if it is not yet the job you have. You energetically embody what you wish to attract more of into your life. Like attracts like. This oracle brings you a message. You don't need to push quite so hard to receive what is naturally coming to you. Your push comes from a place of uncertainty over whether or not you will succeed. You need to relax and have faith in yourself. All things come in time, rightfully and according to a great, loving wisdom. Okay. You are a part of a global healing manifestation process. You are. Through your way of being in the world, helping to birth a new awareness. This new way will heal the human heart and bring it back into balance with nature. This is essential for the human soul to survive, flourish, and to cooperatively nurture the earth rather than destroy her natural resources. You may or may not be consciously aware of the extent to which this new way of manifesting through receiving rather than taking can actually help all of humanity, but nonetheless, it is playing an important role in the greater human evolution. It is the power of attraction and magnetism rather than that of striving and force that will replenish your energy and restore your body, mind, and heart after your struggle. It says, say aloud, I shine like the sun, radiant with grace, and all that I desire comes to me according to perfect timing. I relax, believe, and receive. Through unconditional love, this is now so. Alright, so now I'm going to pull some oracle cards for advice for y'all. There's the advice for Aquarius on developing their superpower to its highest potential. What's the advice for them from this deck? Divine Feminine, which one of those cards talked about Gaia, heart chakra. So with that compassion, possibly doing some heart chakra meditations. Some really cool and effective heart chakra sleep meditations on YouTube if you just type it in. But it says Divine Feminine. The frequency of divine feminine the frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all creation. Now, don't be sensitive if you are a man. You still have divine feminine principles. So you both have feminine and masculine. Both, you should still be able to be compassionate, loving, gentle, and have your heart chakra open. So, Gaia, this is pretty much about knowing that we are all connected, opening yourself up to, let me just read it. Reminds us that we are all infinitely connected to one another, just as we are all created to the great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Okay. Angel messages. This is going to go along with the advice. Messages from this deck would be best for. Why is this in here? Message from this deck would be best for Aquarius to hear as it relates to their superpower, spiritual gift. Okay. So we got creative writing. Write down your ideas. Maybe you are a writer. Even if you're not, write down the ideas that you have so you don't forget them. It says, courage. Be courageous and stand up for what you believe. Peace. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. Okay? So, if this Aquarius were to develop their superpower to their highest potential, to its highest potential, what would be the effects it would have on themselves and others? What are the effects their superpower could have on the world? It develops to its highest potential. Wheel of Fortune. This is about positive outcomes. Strength at the bottom. I'm going to take them both. This is about showing yourself and others how the tables always turn. Things always happen the way that they're supposed to. This is about divine order. This is about positive outcomes. This is about compassion. It's literally about, see how she is tending to this beast, this lion. She's nurturing this lion when most people would not be alone with the lion, trying to show it love and affection. So it's about the power of love, the power of compassion versus the power of forcefulness, which actually goes along with one of them cards perfectly, one of the oracle cards. How it takes a lot more strength to be loving than it does to be hateful, or a lot more strength to be gentle even when you might not feel like a person deserves, or they might not even feel lovable, and you finding it in you to be compassionate and loving rather than judgmental or hateful. So I feel like you will be able to show people that the power of strength, the power of love, the power of compassion, and trust in the process of things. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is about. Knowing that the seasons always change and nothing stays the same forever. So trust and compassion. So hopefully that made sense for some Aquarius somewhere. Thankfully the camera didn't die. I hope you enjoyed. Peace.